Here we are at Busch Gardens Tampa to check out the new construction of Phoenix Rising, the brand new 42-inch minimum height inverted roller coaster from Bolliger and Mabillard. It goes through the story of rising phoenixes. There's going to be 4 different versions that you will see through an interactive video. Very excited as this is a great family edition.
My name is Stuart Clark. I'm the president of Busch Gardens Tampa Bay and Adventure Island. On behalf of the thousands and thousands of men and women who work so hard every day to make this such a great place and create those moments that matter, we want to welcome you to our beautiful Pantopia Theater. I know many of you were here, I think last November, when we talked about everything we're doing in the park and showed you what then was truthfully just a sort of dirt field, right? You came here today to talk about Phoenix Rising. So since November, our team of engineers have been hard at work on bringing that whole attraction to life and creating what we know is the most anticipated family coaster of 2024. So let's take a look first at some of those facts and remind ourselves about some of those key points about Phoenix Rising. You're obviously going to be able to soar above not only Pantopia on the wings of a phoenix rising out of the ground, but also soar right over our Serengeti Plains out there. And it's just going to be an amazing, wonderful experience. The best part about the entire attraction is the height requirement. So we talk all the time about creating a park that's great for the entire family, and we knew that in our portfolio of some of the best coasters in the entire world, we knew that we were still lacking that sort of entry level, right? That first time to ride that big kid coaster. And with Phoenix Rising, and with that height being only 42 inches to ride that ride, it's gonna be an amazing family attraction and the best first big kid coaster ride. So rather than me try to ramble on about it, let me go ahead and bring out Elliott, our Vice President of Design and Engineering, the guy who has probably the funnest job in our park. Eric?
Hey. Thank you, Stuart. Good morning, everyone. I'm Eric Elliott. I'm the Vice President of Engineering and General Services here at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. One of the things I think is obviously being in the D&E field is having the opportunity to work on great attractions like this. And as Stuart said, from back in November when we first met, you'll see a lot of progress that's happened out here at the ride site. Tremendous effort by everyone involved. Then as part of the hard hat experience today, you're gonna be able to see it, get up close and see what has happened, and then have the opportunity to obviously see the active work site of what we're doing. So there's a few construction photos we wanna put up here, I believe. So obviously, I think everyone's seen what's been going on out there. Tremendous amount of work. I think you're in the D&E field, design and engineering. One of the highlights of working on projects, I would say for all of us, is definitely working on the coaster attractions. Great opportunity, lots of fun, lots of energy getting these things done. I think when you look at this perspective from a guest standpoint, on a fan standpoint, I think it's 2 particular milestones that everyone particularly looks at. And one of those milestones is obviously seeing the track. Seeing the track be put up and getting that first great visuals of what the attraction is gonna look like is awesome. In this particular case, it was about a good 5-week process of getting all that track put in. As you can see, once you go out there, a beautiful layout of what's gonna happen on this particular attraction. And that's typically what goes on with that. Now we're into that process. See the crane out there, you see the actual lift chain process going on, being installed. So that's that first visual milestone that I think everyone gets excited about when you're doing a coaster. And the second milestone, I think everyone knows, is when that train goes on the track. So that's definitely gonna be happening soon. Go on schedule to keeping that going. And I think as everyone came in this morning, you had a chance to see the test seat. So you get a chance to see the beautiful coaster that's gonna mesh with that track and give you a great experience out there. But not only with that, we look at those 2 components, but this is truly gonna be a great, as Stuart said, a great family experience for all our guests and obviously all of you once you get a chance to ride it. So with all that going on, we have a great video for you to see, a great POV, and I think this will really get you excited for what's coming in the next month or so. That's pretty cool, right? So obviously great visuals with this attraction. And like I said, it's not only gonna be a great ride, but it's gonna be a great experience. You know, from the beginning of this attraction, as you enter the Q house and you get a chance to experience the background story with all the phoenixes and the different highlights that's going on with that. You know, it's gonna be, like I said, a tremendous and a great family attraction for everyone.
This is the ride vehicle. We don't have any trains out.
Yeah.
As you can see, we're right in front of Phoenix Rising, which is the new attraction opening here in soon, Busch Gardens Tampa. As you can see, we've just finished we're getting closer. What I'm going to do today is share with you guys a little bit of the background and the story on how we created what Phoenix Rising is all about and what our guest experience will be. My name is Nick. I'm the manager of creative development, and so I work on creative director for projects across our SeaWorld and Busch Gardens parks. And so I've been working on Phoenix Rising now for about a year and a half since this project started. So when we started working on this project, Busch Gardens is known for a lot of amazing animal experiences and a lot of great coasters as well. We have a great portfolio of high thrill attractions, Montu, Kumbra, Shikra, all those, they can be pretty intense. And so we knew that we needed a couple more attractions within our portfolio here at the park for the whole family to enjoy together. And so that's why this ride is a 42-inch height requirement. So that's maybe an average 5 or 6-year-old. So almost the entire family will be able to experience this attraction together. So once we had that, then we tried to think about what's a story that everyone will be able to get excited about. The idea of the Phoenix is this legendary bird. We didn't want something that was maybe too juvenile or cute, but also not something that was too intense. So the Phoenix, and done the right way, can be a great middle ground that everyone gets excited about to experience together. One of the other cool things about the Phoenix is if you've been to Busch Gardens before, we used to have our Phoenix swinging ship ride. And so we got excited about traditional Phoenix lore is it rises from the ashes, and that's when the new Phoenix is born. And so that seemed to work really well with this attraction, that the new ride is born from the ashes of one of the former ones. And they brought all of their stories here together and built this really fun and colorful and eclectic settlement. They're sharing their stories of the places that they've traveled around the world. And phoenixes happen, as we started doing our research, they show up in a lot of different mythologies, Chinese and Egyptian and Greek and Persian, and so it made perfect sense that the stories of these phoenixes from all around the world have converged here in Pantopia. And that's what you're going to see when you go into the queue. So our queue is an outdoor covered queue underneath these shade awnings. As you go through that queue, you will find some different artifacts or treasures of phoenixes in different styles. So some that might look more inspired by Asian art or Greek art or different cultures. And so you'll see all of these hints of the phoenixes that our travelers in Pantopia have collected over the years. The other thing that you're going to see in the queue is we've got some different banners that introduce our 4 different phoenixes that you'll be able to discover here at Phoenix Rising. So we have a fire phoenix, which comes from the desert realms. We also have an ice phoenix that comes from the glaciers and the mountaintops. We also have a jungle phoenix, which is the protector of the rainforests. And then we have a sea phoenix, which comes from our one ocean. And so you'll meet one of those 4 phoenixes on each ride of Phoenix Rising. It's a randomized sequence, and so you won't know which phoenix is coming next. And you will encounter the phoenix inside of the station. So what the unload side of the station will look like, so you'll queue up on the load side in your 10 different rows, and as you're looking across the station, this is what you will see. So we've got 4 massive windows that are each 8 feet tall and 8 feet wide, so they fill up almost the entire wall of that station that you can see behind me. And this is where the story of the Phoenix will come to life. So as you're waiting to board, the Phoenix will come in and it will materialize. We'll board the ride with the Phoenix looking out. This is what you'll see as you're boarding the ride, the Phoenix kind of hovering and protecting over the riders. And then there's a transformation moment as the Phoenix is getting ready to take off and fly out of the station. So the Phoenix and the train will leave together. And the best part is that your encounter with our Phoenix doesn't end from the station. So that's why we're really excited about the onboard audio with this attraction. So you'll be able to hear the flapping of the powerful Phoenix wings, the call of the Phoenix at the top of the lift hill and at a couple other spaces throughout the ride. And there's also some really cool environmental and ambient effects that come from each of those different four phoenixes, the sounds of the desert or the crashing waves or the sounds of the jungle. So all four of those phoenixes have a different track. And so you're going to want to come back and do this ride a couple of times to hear what each one of those phoenixes sound like and what makes them unique. And then by the time you get back, hopefully you can't wait to do the ride again. So that's kind of an overview of what our guest experience is going to be like here at Phoenix Rising. I don't know how much time I have left, but if you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to try to take a couple. I can talk about the colors a little bit. So the colors of the track, we have a lot of coasters here at Busch Gardens that are all very iconic, and I think this is our 10th coaster here in the park. So when you've got 8 or 9 coasters already, it starts to get hard to find another combination of colors that we haven't already done. And so the blue, which is, you may have seen more at SeaWorld parks, but we don't have a blue coaster here at Busch Gardens yet with these combinations. And so the track and the supports here are representing the sky. And the vehicle is most traditionally colored like a fire phoenix. So it's got the orange and yellow and a little bit of purple. So the vehicle is meant to represent the phoenix flying over the track and carrying the riders with it.
Great, thank you.
How do you think this is gonna be?
Oh, it's pretty cool, honestly. Like, especially for like a kids coaster. This is especially because I think the closest like ride to this would be the Scorpion, and Scorpion honestly isn't very well themed. It's just like one loop and like some loop-de-loops, and this has a lower height requirement and looks way cooler, and it's just like more modern.
I love that it has like randomized sequences too.
Yeah, honestly, like Guardians is one of my favorite rides in all of Central Florida, and that randomization just makes you want to ride it over and over again.
Dude, I didn't mean for this to be serious, but like he did a really good job. Like it was hard for. He's been classically trained, media trained.
Talk about the audio more unique.
The audio makes it unique, and it's definitely unique for us at Busch Gardens Tampa. We hadn't had to do this before, so once we kind of fell into that realm of giving a great coaster, so to speak, I was thinking, what else can we do to enhance that? Being able, thinking through it, the audio piece was something we really wanted to do. Not only just having an audio experience, but an all new score to go along with it. And then as you experience that, not only just the audio of it, 4 different pieces of audio, 4 different phoenixes, and what you'll kind of feel and be a part of as you ride the ride. So I think that's going to be great.
You guys have like an estimated date when it's going to be open and people can get on.
Yeah, we don't have a date right now, but we do know we'll be opening soon. You can see we still have some work to do. Right now they're installing the chain, lifting, and different things like that. They're definitely working on the electronics, basically installing all the brains of the ride. So we want to make sure all that's correct before we get things on it. Like I mentioned in the discussion earlier, I think everyone looks at those 2 milestones. Is building a coaster is when you see that track going for the first time and see that completed, but also when we put trains on. So right now we're I would say about 7 to 10 days from actually getting the train on the track. And that's not going around, but that'll be on the track. Got to get all that done. I think that's excitement, obviously for us as well. Being able to get that move and go through all the testing with that. So we're definitely making headway. We still said spring. And that's kind of what we wanted to be and what we want to do with this.
You had mentioned that you were looking at plots of land on where to put this attraction. Where are some other spots that you think could be available for a future attraction?
That's a good question. I think right now it's kind of hard to say because I think the way we have the layout of the park, everything's really works to what we want to do. But I think if you really sat down and thought about it, I would say just off the top of my head, it would be kind of hard to think where we could do something. But also that's part of those components is also what's available. So it depends on what ride. So you still have a lot of space, but it just depends on what that next attraction is, would determine where we want to put it as well. So.
Have you guys thought about ever potentially doing something indoor or dark ride experience, something that didn't require a major footprint, but would allow for being open during weather?
Yes, we think about that all the time. And I hope as we continue to think about that, that comes into fruition and we can get there. So I will tell you that's part of our 5-year plan. That's definitely something on our plate that we definitely want to get here at Busch Gardens Tampa.
So that pretty much is a major thing that I wanted to know is whether or not we would get some sort of attraction that would be capable to manage all of the weather. And if there is a dark ride in the works here in 5 years, love it. I think this is going to be a great attraction. I'm super stoked to ride it, probably come June this year. And if you want to catch out some of the fun here at Busch Gardens that we've had, check out this video right here. Boop.